You know, for so many people, the path to having a baby can feel completely random, like it's just a game of chance. And it's so frustrating to hear that crushing phrase, oh, it's just bad luck. But what if that's not the whole story? What if you could actually take back some control? Today, we're going to dive into the work of Dr. Natalie Crawford. She's a fertility expert who took her own heartbreaking struggle and turned it into a whole new, empowered way of looking at reproductive health. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This one sentence really captures the incredible personal and professional pain that started Dr. Crawford on this mission. You see, she wasn't just some doctor in a lab studying infertility. She was living it in the most painful way you can imagine.
So, before we get into all the science, it is so important to understand the human side of this, because the problem of infertility is on the rise. And for Dr. Crawford, those growing statistics suddenly became her own reality.
And that number is, well, it's pretty staggering, 1 in 5. Right now, in the United States, 1 out of every 5 couples is struggling with infertility. And what's really alarming is just how fast that number is climbing.
Get this, just a decade ago, that number was 1 in 8. So what in the world is going on? Well, it's complicated, for sure. But it really shines a light on why the old way of thinking about this just isn't cutting it anymore.
And this really gets to the heart of the problem that Dr. Crawford was up against. After going through unimaginable loss, the story she was told by her own community offered zero hope, zero answers, and absolutely no sense of control.
Can you even imagine? You're a highly trained doctor. You have endured 4 separate pregnancy losses. And when you ask your colleagues, what can I do? What can I change? You're told, nothing. It's just bad luck. Lifestyle doesn't really matter. Just do IVF. That wasn't just frustrating for her. It felt deeply, fundamentally wrong.
And that's really the two worlds we're talking about here. On one side, you've got this passive, disempowering bad luck myth that basically says there's nothing you can do. And on the other, you have this proactive model that Dr. Crawford started to uncover, one where you are an active player in your own health. And that shift in perspective, it's everything.
So Dr. Crawford basically said, no, I don't accept that. And she went full-on researcher mode. She started digging, looking for patterns, for some kind of common thread that could connect all these different fertility issues. And guess what? She found one.
This was her big aha moment, as she's digging through all this research on vitamin levels, environmental factors, egg quality, you name it. One word, just one word, kept popping up again and again and again. Inflammation. That was the hidden link.
Now, we have to be super clear here. We're not talking about the good kind of inflammation. You know, when you get a cut and your body sends a rush of cells to heal it, that's a good thing. We're talking about chronic, low-grade inflammation, this kind of constant, simmering state of alert that just wears your body down over time.
Dr. Crawford has this brilliant analogy for it. Your reproductive system depends on this beautiful, complex conversation of hormones. It's like your brain and your ovaries are sending text messages back and forth. Well, chronic inflammation is like bad cell service. It creates all this static on the line, scrambling the signals, and making that delicate communication much, much harder.
For her, this discovery was a total game changer. It completely revolutionized her thinking. Fertility was no longer some lottery ticket. Nope, it was a reflection of something you can actually influence, your overall health.
And this is the heart of her entire philosophy. And look, this is not about blame, not at all. It's about empowerment. It's about understanding that the small, daily choices we all make about our health, they add up. They compound over time and can either set you up for success or create roadblocks.
Let me give you a really clear example of luck versus science. If you just rely on luck, you could miss your fertile window entirely, giving you a 0% chance that month. But if you apply a little bit of science, just by knowing when you ovulate, you can boost your chances from 0 all the way up to 30% in a single cycle. That's not luck, my friends. That is knowledge.
All right, so if it's not just luck and it's about our choices, what can you actually do? Well, Dr. Crawford took all her research and boiled it down into a practical toolkit that's all about tackling that root cause, chronic inflammation. These are her 5 non-negotiables, and each one is a huge lever you can pull to fight inflammation. First up, sleep. That's when your body does its repair work, and bad sleep literally spikes your inflammatory markers. Second, stress. When you're chronically stressed, your body is flooded with cortisol, which is another major driver of inflammation. Third, movement. You don't have to be a marathon runner, but regular, moderate exercise is one of the best anti-inflammatories out there. Fourth, your diet. Focusing on whole, anti-inflammatory foods can literally cool that fire from the inside. And finally, reducing your exposure to toxins in your food, water, even your personal care products, that just lessens the burden on your whole system. Getting a handle on these pillars is the most powerful thing you can do for your metabolic health.
And this is where the story gets even bigger, where we see the most important perspective shift of all. This isn't just about making babies. Your reproductive health is actually a window, a vital sign for your overall long-term health.
Okay, this next part it's a really tough statistic to hear, but it's so important. The data shows that women with infertility have higher rates of cancer, stroke, and heart disease. But here's the crucial thing to understand. Infertility doesn't cause these things. Instead, the root issues that are contributing to the infertility, things like that chronic inflammation we've been talking about, are the very same issues that put you at higher risk for these other serious conditions down the road.
So, I want to leave you with this one powerful idea. This question really reframes the entire conversation. What if a struggle with fertility isn't a failure? What if it's actually your body's earliest warning sign? A red flag giving you this incredible opportunity to change not just your chances of having a baby, but the entire course of your future health.